free wo so na afi aboa ama ahotoso nso etimi aba ene ukodi pemu a aya na ofere se obechia kwacho ebreni ne se obetimi edi chocho hand cream no asrasra wonsem na etimi aboa ma wonsem so ago kama pa chocho product egumu ahodo pi ye wo chocho shampoo the conditioner and afi hair food eno eye base ene oyo ba wo trinwi bobo wo trinwi no dandruff agini nyina no aboso a esese oyisubi na etu ni nyina no ase edema anopai bo homodin na wonsa entimi enkabi chocho soap no ewo dwaman so eyi skin rashes and scars ahodo ni nyina no efri wo so pimples age wani mu aboso ni nyina no mpacho oyisu chocho soap ebe clear ni nyina no e de free ho afi wutie manopai mpacho bp ha wadwen pa chocho edi BPT edi aba anopai opeso regulate aye o pressure no a nonombi na ebeboa wo ye ebe ye omo adwuma se de wa fa aduro na eye purely natural yemfa bibia no emfrem eye hahama ane ye de aye enunti anopai ma onsan kabi herbal shops ana afei so supermarket ahodo udru dwaman so a super market ahodo shops ahodo malls ahodo ni nyina no eton chocho product ni nyina no ebi enti ma onsan kabi na ebeboa na onso watimi enya afọ ahode se utie manopai na owa hotoso se enei opese utu niema no dodo mu na utimi eton bia kosuhum in the eastern region ho ana obehu factory no ana se fra womo on 055 185 5388 055 185 5388 ana fra 0244 727348 0244 727348 ana fra 0504 555535 na woni eye chocho industry eni enkomo anope womo ebeje so ama product no wonsa etimi akemi Eclipse Collateral Management adaroma bacho womo ebehwe ama wonso o property documentation no wo de ye adwuma amfa so esese wunya no wonsa ebetimi aka ene Eclipse se memo wa mane se wo ye obi a wo ye property owner wabo nkrata de ato wajapade ne so a fabra na womo mfa nkrata ni nyina no enye adwuma na afi womo ntua commission ewo ho enunti ebrenu nie se wonso obetimi ama o property document no etimi aye adwuma ede amount bacho oba yaso ya ye no bedi nkomo kama na afi etimi aboa wo ye enwo achi no open loan oni collateral speak to them womo ebeje wo so mbo be assist you with collateral na etimi aboa ma wo facility a wo hwe anim no wonsa etimi aka adenta new site Abakan Street ana obehu Eclipse pacho from womo on 0266999020 0266999020 and after 0302551877 na woni Eclipse ni enkomo anope na womo ebeje wo so na afi etimi aboa. Now there is a lot of issues in the energy sector na the energy minister designate Ura Abdullah Jinapo echo vetting no there were a lot of issues by good for oil policy abanye twebono at the buy led by Dr. Bawumia the explanation our the buy vis-a-vis the Bank of Ghana governor Ura Adesin so ediaba anope yane ebede ho enkomo surely ye ka say so mampanyin apaw eye nipedu se womo emra meya soafo a mantem ahodo no womo bedano na afi womo timi serve as regional ministers ye the details ni nyina no e de beba but main call lines ne so na memma Dr. Charles Ofori Jemfi policy lead on energy edema isep memma no ache na memma na kwaba doc otimenka good morning pachompom to say
good morning na me adom me hoye no say
erade adom me so me hoye pa official panso
I think I
very well. What do you need here quite so? Jinaso kakrama me pese utie the minister designate for energy. The response to some of the questions wamu pose here on the good for oil policy. Na afi Bank of Ghana so dia wamu ka na afi yeni Hong Kong.
Considering that most of the importers consider the issue of forex as an issue when dealing with cost. And the good for oil came to mitigate that issue. There is scarcity of forex. In a month, we need about 400 million USD to import petroleum products. So what would be your position on the good for oil policy? And And how are you going to fix the issue of forex for importers? And Honorable Nominee, thank you very much. Honorable Nominee, I believe the question is, what is your position on gold for oil? You can ignore the commentaries and proceed to answer the question.
Mr. Chairman, I refer to 28th November 2023 publication. Bank of Ghana to phase out gold for oil policy. Bank of Ghana governor announces. And so I think that they are rather vindicating my position that it was not well thought out. If it was that good and it was solving the problem, you don't phase out a policy that is delivering results. What we would do, we would review it, we would analyze it, and ensure that we come out with a model that is fit for purpose, that ensures that we account for the gold. Honorable Tufos has already indicated that we want to form a gold board which will aggregate all the gold. We have an escrow account where the forex or the hard currency would move into, so that we'll use that to support fuel imports, but also support the payment of IPPs and the payment of gas. So we are looking at a holistic, well-encompassing approach rather than a narrow approach. Thank you.
And that is the Honorable Abdullah Jedapo, Energy Minister Designate, speaking at the appointment committee. But in response to this, Dr. Philip Addison, Ernest Addison, Bank of Ghana Governor, Joy News, Eddie Nkomo, about this same policy. Ma yentie the Bank of Ghana Governor, Ernest Addison, Embra, na afi yentwaso.
It's a gold story. I think the question is, does Ghana produce so much gold? We didn't realize that we could buy almost $5 billion of gold 3-4 years ago when we didn't have this program. Where was all of that gold going prior to the central bank starting the domestic gold purchase program? The gold was being produced, people were coming from outside the country, they were buying the gold, and the gold somehow found its way out of the country, and we didn't accumulate anything. So yes, I believe that this gold has been produced in Ghana for a very long time. It's the central bank's entry right into the market that is now bringing all of that officially unrecorded gold production back into the official statistics. So if you look at the GDP growth numbers, for example, for this year, you see that the growth that we are seeing is coming from industry. And within that subgroup is the mining sector, and it's gold. And a lot of it is the central bank's gold purchases, which is really also driving our GDP numbers. So there are a lot of lessons that can be, picked up from that experience.
But Doc, again, it comes back to my question about going forward, looking at what the bank has done in the monetary side.
So they have to sustain what they're doing. They have to sustain and buy more gold and continue to get more of the gold, that is out there, finding its way out of the country through other means into the official statistics and into the official economy. But so the potential, it's a question of, we've always underestimated how much gold that we had. Now from this program, I think we can see, since we started, we've almost bought $9 billion worth of gold. Where was all of that gold going before?
And that is Dr. Ernest Addison, Bank of Ghana Governor, speaking and to Joy News. That's tape, my main credited Joy News for that interview. But my name Dr. Charles, so for region fee any income. Don't watch out what you can say.
I'm Itonka.
Okay. And see, what's here the minister designate for energy and what's here the governor of the central bank, Dr. Ernest Addison. Now, what's here Urajinapwan? He says as far back as October, there were plans by the central bank, say Omobe facing out the policy good for oil. But per explanation in the interview I just played, it looks as if it's a good thing a Bank of Ghana would wish to continue with such a policy, just to ensure, sir, you bring a very good stakes, ebema yenya oil. No. Now, your take on this, na yentwas.
Okay, thank you. I think given the position of the past government on gold for oil, I'm not surprised the Bank of Ghana a better position, because Nanado Abino has always been clear gold for oil policy on better, and it was in their manifesto. said they were even going to expand the gold for oil policy when if they get power in 2025. And given all of these background, the Bank of Ghana was going to phase out gold for oil policy as far as maybe they are concerned, and MPP was concerned. So I'm not surprised what the position Nana take. Now I was a bit surprised that maybe I refer to certain articles and the Bank of Ghana be phased out. I mean, share them article in there, but probably it's there somewhere in the news. But then Bank of Ghana made sure that at the time more were going to phase out go for oil, but rather they were going to uphold it and even expand it. Yeah.
But the main rationale behind this policy, I mean, per what we have examined and in common yet, one, it is to ensure, forex, be stable. Now, this time round, for the hard currency of dollar, no say the cocra oil, but to a far extent, we were promised, a little bit more cheaper. Are we seeing that in terms of its greater impact?
I think the overall impact for go for oil now has not, for in our estimation, any significant, because number one, there are questions around it. How much gold are we even using? So far, instead of report there and breaking down the numbers to show that this is the impact. More what we see is the petrol price ever for man. Yes, you go for oil in India, and I say the petrol price no you say, and can you go for oil and car?
That was so more than that.
But you see, we've not done the analysis and the assessment and any policy document to show that this is the impact of the go for oil. And if you look at the volumes of oil, even not yet they actually go for oil now, vis-a-vis how much we are consuming now, you realize that it's so insignificant relative to what we are paying at the pumps for oil. You said there are two key things that affect the prices. The crude oil prices on the world market and the forex. I think that it's better say macroeconomic environment here, dealing with our issues of the exchange rate on a macroeconomic level. That is beyond NPA. It's beyond Ministry of Energy. That tells you how the economy, the finance, the forex issues, and energy and all of that are interlinked. So what they issues with short-term measures with Ebana say one shana and me and provide with that long-term impact now because all the times are full about what we see is that it is due to the falling prices of crude oil on the market, right? And you can see the direct impact when it happens. So it's difficult to say about attribute some of these issues to the gold for oil policy. And secondly, there are also issues around even the ability for this gold for oil to reduce to have this impact, because sometimes also a movement of prices of gold, which is also subject to fluctuations, and then the movement of the prices for oil, which is also subject to fluctuations. One thing here now attribution and then what should go for oil chain now.
Yes, the model,
model, a lot of entities playing middleman roles, and at each level of the chain is another transaction cost on its own. And I think that we should be able to count the cost of this and the benefits around it. Only the real impact of the go for oil policy.
But earlier on, you mentioned model. I mean, should this government even continue the model they implementing the transaction? Is it the right frame of policy? SSC cost to us one. The middleman a intermediary between the central bank and then those that are producing the oil, no? I mean, I don't know, and then if not, how should it be done? Should it be continued?
I think the entire policy should be assessed. I believe you should get to a point where a big say, I think we should look at it on a very, very holistic perspective. Say they are a bit me address the overall impact before you caught into such such a transaction. We should put all sentiments aside and then really do a holistic assessment of the policy. Let's say but we should take it off and rather focus on how we can build we can make our currency stronger. And we believe that generally if our currency is stronger, it will have impact over downstream petroleum prices near this. And we also have to look at strengthening the refining capacity near this to boost domestic production. I think those things, if you see, they are more long-term solutions rather than trying to look for short-term solutions that maybe are better in the long run. I introduce a lot of cost. Maybe a petrol will reduce by 1 CDO, but most not cost not up a baby. Then it will affect you in another sector. Those things are very important. Yeah.
Very well. Mame Nawase, I'm highly grateful for your time. Mr. Beda say, energy policy lead on energy, ASAP, Dr. Charles Ofori Jemfi and Meneno Edwin Kobono. It is only 8 o'clock now. The policy good for oil. Ana yedeho enkomoda utie the Minister Jenapo Ekaye together with the Central Bank of Ghana, the also Eka, the governor himself, Dr. Ernest Addison Eka. Then looks as if said the NDC government has a contrary view and position on the implementation of a good for oil policy. But we'll come back to have that conversation because the details of it, framework abanye tremuno at the buy the transactional model na womo at the year juba there. I mean the dealings of a middleman no make sure say all these things will happen after say PMMC atuto to good on behalf of the central bank na afi central bank and so ajejeno we are only told say the gold in the na the akwakoje the quantum and the quantity of oil ye here na afi central bank and so pushes oil na say one forward the ama a bust na afi woman so I said distribution ebe ye juma na etimi abua. Now bottom line and the value chain no kwa kodru say OMCs ensa ebeka na afi woman etimi aton at the various pumps, but the real implication and they say we were told say good for oil no beboa stabilize your currency because will happen so say umfa hard currency of the dollar and cause all the kokra fuel and the about or minimum and which once you are using the gold you are rest assured say a buono ebeba form because OMCs any omunia no ma akano eto oil from bust at a very reduced price ebetimi aboa ma womunso omudi fuel eba stations ahodo na womwetimi atete so. But the reality on the ground and the real assessment of impact as our policy way enyano as time comes by yebedi hon komo na ya share. But utie minister clearly there has to be a review of the policy. If they have to do away with the policy, they will do away with the policy. Now, the NDC equally has a different view under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama because Omoaka said gold Yatuto Ukrumano. Now they are going to form the Omo friend with the gold board to say the Ghana Cocoa Board Ewohono. Gold board and the beshe atuto gold nina. That should not be the responsibility of the central bank. Central bank enye juma a central bank and then a regulator for all the financial institutions in Ghana. And things will unfold, but you will see how as our policy way a bit me turn it out. It is only 2 minutes after 8. I have Kessben 92.9. Your numbers 0550 567 929 055 0567 929 eno eye numbers anope ye de eye ejuma obetime ede wo SMS and afi WhatsApp messages ni nyina no afa eno so ede aba ye beje na yakenkan ni nyina oko Facebook we are live on Kessben TV and afi Kessben FM 92.9 handles me ni nyina no eye ejuma enti stay with us na ye ne wo any encombon. Now, the finance minister designate policy on betting tax and then e-levy abolishment. Many experts are questioning the fact that revenue generation no rato forcing did not sound convincing enough. A quite ben obefaswa ne revenue mobilization target no obetimi achieve whilst he plans of taking away a year e-levy and the betting tax. Now we'll speak to a year the dean of the business school for a year University of Cape Coast, Professor John Gachi na yedeno Edin Komo. Prof, anope wotemenka yami asum bienka. Good morning. Vachompom to say.
Good morning. I'm fine by the grace of God.
Very well. We are so much grateful for joining us this morning. So first off, the minister designate has already given an indication in the vetting where he appeared before the appointment committee, indicating that surely with the first initiative of budget that comes in place, he is going to do away with the policy on e-levy and then betting tax. Now, many are questioning where will he be able to mobilize the revenue and what will be the policy target. Now, your initial comment on this particular decision taken by the government and then the way forward.
Well, thank you. I think when we are discussing revenue, it's only proper we don't discuss revenue in isolation of expenditure. In fact, the very reason why we are concerned about the level of revenue is because of the level of expenditure. So if you are taking 2 billion, total of 4.5 billion. That is COVID levy, betting tax, and e-levy annually is 4.5 billion. Now you ask yourself, what our expenditure frame? The expenditure frame consists of 30 ministries and 125 ministers. That 30 ministry has been reduced to 23.
Yes.
How much savings do we make from that? 125 ministers have been reduced to 60 ministers. How much savings do we make from that? There is going to be restoration of toll boats, no matter how small it is. There is going to be retooling of VAT and the removal of betting tax and e-levy itself, and the removal of COVID levy itself is going to free the businesses and the people who pay that. And the taxes they are going to pay at the end of the day will be upgraded. The only thing is that they are now flexible. The disruption is taken away from them. So we don't look at it just because a tax is taken away.
Yes.
We look at it from all these two perspectives. Then again, you recall that in the NDC manifesto, it is stated that we are going to see a review of the Petroleum Revenue Management Act so that the revenue will become efficient. We also saw in the NDC manifesto that there is going to be enactment of Natural Resource Revenue Management Act so that we bring about efficiency in the management of natural resources revenue. When that is done well, it's supposed to increase our revenue from the natural resources sector. Now, at the same time, if you read the NDC manifesto, there is this proposal to take a second look at exemptions. Exemptions, which is huge. Exemption alone is going to about 3 billion annually. Now, when you take exemptions alone, the NDC manifesto is saying that exemption is supposed to be strategic investment by the state in private entities, for which there should be strategic benefit to the state. So, if you are not a strategic entity, you are not going to get tax exemption. So, all those things will make revenue available to the state. So, it's not as if those revenue are going to be taken off and there is nothing to balance the equation. So that is how I want us to look at it.
Okay, but from this perspective, you have espoused. Now, the big question will be that will all these measures cater for, the high target of revenue mobilization? Because many analysts have equally expressed the view that, we have to find renew ways of doing things in terms of generating revenue for our country. Already, we are under an IMF program, and then the indications are that it is likely we may even go in for more money, regardless of what the previous government did. And so, taking out all these taxes, reduces your revenue target in terms of mobilization. Now, what will be that one major, turnaround point for the finance minister to initiate that will see the people who are within the informal sector equally contributing to the taxes we pay, so that at least the government can equally achieve the particular flagship programs they intend to initiate? And so what will be your major concern about people raising all these issues?
I think those people making those comments are worried because to them, it's just like a linear equation. If you take this one out and you don't replace it, then it means revenue loss. But for me, that's not how you look at it. Because they are not talking about the expenditure side that is being dealt with significantly.
Okay.
So you need to look at that also. If you look at it the way they are talking about, I think they are speaking with the notion that they don't want any derailment. So I understand their view. But I think they need to expand their view to cover the expenditure framework that is actually pruned down significantly. And you listen to the finance minister designate, he said two important things. He's going to step up compliance, and you know that once compliance is stepped up, that results into more people paying taxes.
I was actually coming into that area because that was a particular response he gave at the appointment committee. But in time past, we've had the GRA visiting shops in Kumasi and then at Kantamanto, even within the Greater Accra, people who are doing businesses and then running big shops. Now, many criticize that particular initiative, that it wasn't the right thing. It was more of an intimidation of people who are into business. And so, in this particular case or scenario, compliance, enforcement, and all of that, what will be the steps taken to ensure that people will comply with their level of tax payment? And what should the finance minister do in initiating some of these steps?
Well, compliance counts with various strategies. You know that we have not yet deployed the Ghana card efficiently to benefit revenue mobilization. So that is one area that will step up compliance. Then number two, those tools that the GRA was using, they were not arbitrary tools. They were tools that are enshrined in their law, in their administrative manual. In fact, no trader or no businesses or taxpayer was concerned that people were visiting their shop to see that they are doing the right thing. They were complaining about the frequency. They were complaining about the frequency. So you can use the same tool combined with other tools, but you reduce the frequency. In fact, some of the engagement went beyond the frequency. That in actual fact, the revenue officers were actually inundated by the pressure on them to bring in more revenue. So they were doing all kinds of things.
And some of them, to a far extent, were stationed at respective shops to monitor the sales that are coming in.
You see, I have worked with GRA before.
Okay.
Station people at the respective shop is a tool we have used several times. But you go there for a short period of time. What you are going to do, you do assessment of the system, and then you look at the turnover, how things are flowing over a certain short period of time. Then you leave.
Okay.
You write a report, and then it's implemented to monitor the trader to see what is bringing now matches with what you have gone to see. So it's not something that you should go and stay in the trader. Somebody premises for a whole year. So it's a tool we have used before, but it's for a short-term period to give you a trend that you will be monitoring in your office.
Okay.
So it's the way some of these tools have been deployed in the past that created the impression. So when those tools are deployed in a proper manner, I'm not sure people will be complaining. Because if you go there, you see that, let's say, for a maximum of a month, you know the trend. So therefore, if the person is now filing, and the filing is now below the trend that you have seen, then you quit him. So you don't stay in the person's premises for more than 1 month. What you will see during that period, you have seen it already. So that's where the intimidation comes in. But all those things are in the laws. All these things are in the GRA operational manual for them to use to collect revenue.
And so deploying some of these measures will help shore up the revenue mobilization target of the government. And we must do away with e-levy and then the betting tax. I mean, the finance minister designate classifies it as a nuisance tax. And so, I mean, the first budget will do away with that. So it is right for him to do that.
Yeah, it is right to do that. Unless Ghanaians massively come out and say, we don't want you to remove the e-levy and co. In fact, as the discussion is going on, there are a group of Ghanaians who say remove the e-levy, and these are businesses. These are businesses who say remove the betting tax, remove the e-levy, remove the COVID tax or levy. You know, so as for analysts, they are looking at the function that will not be there.
Okay.
But businesses are looking at the disruption those things are giving to them. So we need to balance all these views. But again, I say that all these things, they are not linear equations.
Very well.
We need to look at the two angles. So if your revenue is now this, has your expenditure remained the same or it has gone down? I think that is what we need to be looking at. So if your revenue remains this, but your expenditure has gone down, by what margin? Will it be matched with the current revenue? I think that analysis has not come up by anybody.
Okay.
All that people are talking is that, e-levy is bringing this much. When you remove it, then this revenue is not there. Therefore, it's a problem. Then he also talked about nurturing the informal sector into the tax net.
Exactly.
Nurturing the informal sector into the tax net. That is going to be another thing that you need to do. In fact, we, as a nation, we like to collect revenue from businesses, but we don't want to nurture businesses like our children. to get to that level that they help the country in terms of revenue. And that is what he has promised to do.
Okay. Very well. Prof, I'm grateful for your time this morning once again. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Professor John Gachi, Dean of the Business School, University of Ghana, University of Cape Coast, speaking to us and on the sidelines of a year e-levy and then the betting tax, the promise to do away with it. And then 18 after 8. Awa Mohammed, a member of the NPP's communication team at the national level, and what can I say? And what can I say? And Dr. Ramsey Inusa, a member, Movement for Change, communication team, senior member, also Atanasi, and a Feminia member, Bernardo Dotechi, chartered economist, member of the NDC, a soon to be minister. Also Atanasi and pay. Your hard work has paid off. I mean, congratulating the first. Or not as in the party you have, congratulations. As I say,
was a Uzo position fatal. Uzo position fatal. Which I know they are better than
now. No, I would declare here.
Where your 16-year position check. Oh,
also, Michelle Blue a
NPP. Me na am a platform in rules. Che we no. Obeshe no 16 years no position.
I see.
Mr. Speaker, I am prophetical. Me can wo show we so say. MPP we pusagrawa ma on the opposition. And any opposition ketwa very gangant one. Under the Fourth Republic, and in Guasia we've been see that it's a micro minority. Che we tobe for guho. We share first one 4 years, now we year to baby. Second one 4 years. Nyami adona ye pon show now. Member names of more on be NDC name for the next 16 years.
Oh, that.
And BB answers.
Okay, wow.
Me see MPP bet no position 16 solid years.
I see.
What you say? Because you catch them now NDC come na NDC fatal. What say Daudi Samuel Ukwechi on na akuapen no for parliament no. Wo na otifie no. NDC mu de.
Very well.
Nti ma mencha wa hwefo nyina na me mo ma fin shapa. Na mencha kwabna kese me madam fo. Kwabna nya me nhyira wo. Wo show we ya ba mu wate. Nya ba mu wakosoro. Kwabna ba bia wo bia wish you the best.
Adina Daniel.
Adina Dani.
Okay.
And a 16 years in power.
I see.
Bonedate to her. Movement for change crowd when Munyam Chan MPP.
I see.
Movement for change. Party at tea any 4 years no. Or move war and Munyam ne. And then your party
a movement.
Ah,
it's not a
maybe say a party. In 2 years time we'll say a party.
Okay. May I say
definitely.
Dr. Inusa na me man akwaba. Doc, good morning.
Good morning.
Na inform to say
Nyamiadum meka se ye hu ye na medical achia o chiefo ni wa hwefo ni na
okay
ne menu for mo awo ni BOT
Kessben
na masa edichia adiama mo entire staff ewo Kessben from Richard ni mo camera team ni mo strong room team ni na mo bojuma ding na Ghana Mazusa Edamase ni juma mobo as a reputable media house.
Thank you. Awa
Speaker,
happy New Year.
Many more happy returns.
I was said we be fine.
Oh, na yeko enim chense.
Ahoden wo ho.
Na ahoden bibia kama e wo ho. Me dase pa. Mama congratulate BOT and Minua. Essence say omo adinkunim. Essence say movement for change. Let me say go. Inti we can say ye be share a movement for change. Me who flyer no. Let me say now omo ti ase because na me say a movement for elections. But then BOT akachire me say e be dani political party. On be kwa ye hu nhihye ye. Yenim the relationship between Omoni and DC4, so definitely Omo Enyami Wanwa say Omo Ebeye political party just to antagonize MPP in opposition.
Oh, wow.
Say congratulations to BOT. At least ye share our ham. There me ya kwane say Tamas Unyani East ebe follow na nya una we parliamentary candidate. That is the only year. Because sa seat no a borrowed seat
2028 BOT.
Exactly. No, 2028 that seat is coming back home. Since 1996 a lose that seat in that. So it is coming back home. But then Mika say be a miniano. Ebekwa kwaji for the first time na oko 4 years no. So at least omunya tepa unse tepa omuji 2012 and esan kwaje ya de na minu edu say and akoye MP ho ntina me ka say minu yin so tama nanka change AC no nanka wo say oye MP ho but it's all good mate say e be man an appreciable position mate say
what it you ho
yes obey CEO o ka minister no na me wan because e bia na mo media no media na e bia mo information chain but the mate nyina ne say obetimi anya CEO e fata no why Juma or boy Juma Dean. He didn't only waste his time at a radio station. He even spent money. I remember say or could donate even sika any
aside that or adapt 10 constituencies, 16. Right? 16.
Yes,
and most of them were really
yes. So I think that he deserved to be given appointment. Okay. At least on now some minor in that capacity. No, or boy Jumanso, definitely a bit many of the son for so they be a make us a former President Mahama who say yak mafka former President Mahama as political party we will never wish him doom as I say Nidia no crano ed the chain BBA or just 4 years to live into and a Ghana phones were catch say enye a friends a Juma obebo and a better say obe winning elections because in 2008
so Ghana for
yes in 2008 the Kufo Ayepa MPP lose elections so it tells you that there is no way say a Juma nkwa obeye nkwa na bema mo lose elections. There are a lot of things okay say LGBTQ free senior high school challenges kakra umuni na keka ho and some few other things and allegations of corruption in a keka ho and these are reasons are a bar abontia the lose elections you know. So you were reshemu and nekra LGBTQ President Mahama say ehu hia say be ye mrabiasa o say ye chire nkwala ye yamamre ne amane a ehu hia say be ye mrabia ade na waka say oba obesan o say na ehu hia say be ye mrabia again ye sanko ye chikura na ye nko ye consultation abrawamanyimu minim law a ewo manyimu a enya consultation chain LGBTQ law started 2021 and 2024 ye 3 months live on this TV 3 months public hearing our parliament ene Mahama say yanko ye chi na yanko ye hwehwemu na yenye consultation na yemfa product consultation wuram ne kega ho intenu de ye hu the first snack ye hwe de aka ekoye ye beka anko ye nso a we are the vanguard. Political party doesn't
the
exist.
Gatekeepers.
Yes, yeah, exist to say be win elections on kwa. Yeah, education, your profile alternative solutions in the keka ho. So you go so ye bonfire say former President Mahama dey can so be nyina no. Obetimi aye na waboa amagana etimi aye krabehwe. Wo say adwuma beba bebre. Ghana for dodo na benya adwuma ye. Nti I don't expect to say obi aye fan adwuma in December. November, December, ye be yin adi. Say or through the processes are me expect to say obi a okọ because we can say obaba bema adwuma a 3 shifts inti me nyehwe se bibisa besi me worry shemu say private schools no Cambridge na keka ho no omunsu nyina no e be enjoy free secondary school because e ade a o can say obey so we wish them well de beko ye bia no ye beka but e no nkyere say ye win elections ade ba kwa e womne say ya set up a committee eguso a ye investigation ya omo beba na omo ni media kura e dinkita ho omo ni stakeholders nyina be dinkita ho say untimi ne enko ho kura na otro e de call MPP elections review committee at gmail.com o de koma omo a ombehu na omo ye ho adwuma ombe ko ba bia na again yes enjoy campaign no essence lawyer Justin Kodua Frimpong Stephen Tim and impenifo aka nyina no ye elect omo 2 years pen omo so aka 2 years into start campaign na sa consensus building na e pese ye regroup no MY inti ye nyina no ye enjoy na ye yes enye MY inti ye nyina no se na council of elders for no eka no yemfa no nya dwuma se na be ya at least ye betima ma omo asumdwe omo na de committee aba nipa na profo ne nam se omo resign opese otu omo no omo de committee aba ye hu de committee be kwa kodru na se bia edru ho na wo se o contest ya why not.
All right, but that's 28 minutes after 8. Now, my numbers is 0550-567-929, 0550-567-929, and no a text line, no SMS, and a WhatsApp. Ma yenshasi na yeni nkomo na appointment, no, bebrena no aba and bra.
Just about 20% na aba.
This appointment, the regional ministers in the 10 and dra. President Mahama are making move to Boko in an attempt to making sure say one more are resolve the conflict what Boko say. So far so good. The achievement of President Mahama in a few days in office. I don't know day but I'll start with Dr. Inusa. Na metie no for 10 minutes. Doc, ma membra wo so na mentio for 10 minutes. Na membra wo nua no ma akaso. So far, Mahama's performance in office was share the stakeholders in the energy sector, and there was a briefing by all security couples for all the security agencies. We're making move to Boko, was share National House of Chiefs, or the appointment on regional ministers. Said there about 6 of them. We're making 3 substantive appointment at the ministerial level, plus many other initiatives are by what take Mamintio.
Yo, Speaker.
Yes.
Well, before I met you and before I continue, many awal I can sembi na mede tuja. Say there's nowhere a movement for change any NDC about poor MPP. We campaigned under the aegis of a government of national unity and under the aegis that there is a duopoly formed in our fourth republic. And 32 years near your economic freedom near independence. Until the Ghana or nti saa sema awol beka wa hano de enye no kre nti no atiefo de ma mo fan serious but propaganda of course thinking say omo lose this election with such huge numbers to the NDC no na me dwen say maybe no omo be bro mo ase I reflect it, have some introspection on why they lost, but still no kra no. Yes, see a count here, debi now, we better, Ubehu. Sisi anu, omu regret it. Oshe omu posture na. They've not regretted their actions. Inti sa kasa na okano, anyano kre da. We are against the duopoly. We still have that stance, and that is why we are still relevant in today's political landscape. We were not created just for the election, but we were created for Ghana. Say yede Ghana ebeko nenim. Entino NDC for also sano. Omaba abaino. We will checkmate them. We will make sure say ombedi su. Entina yera Honorable Alan Kojo Tramantin.
Yes.
Mama Winnie no okoshiano. Etunufu.
Yes.
Ena omano ni GTP ni Great Transformational Plan. Ena okache ne say so pair always consult me based on your discretion. Consult me na yentimi nye juma na Ghana ehu hia. The fact say we lose the election doesn't mean that Ghana should go back. That ideology no, that repugnant ideology ye political landscape enu na ekuye no. And then utimi who's a market bebre there's a lot of arson in our markets, deliberate to frustrate this current government. A idea say ye jai na ye Ghana interest. Okay. Appointments, no, me share a bit of interview, especially with that of Honorable John Jinapo.
Yes.
Na Metimaka say he's a young person. He has been a deputy minister for energy before, and in Sema Oyi, I think that I'm very convinced with his erudition when it comes to the energy sector.
Okay.
Experience I'm very, very convinced. But of course, our experience, not our idea. Of course, execution is what would matter. Yehu yera baumia. Uti asiye. Yewa baumia chere ye nyansa pa. Entitisi ano obi a obeba abeka brofo kesiye ewa TV su na wayi ensemanum akasa kama na afedie. Want to make new jumano now results na airport or there. Yeah, fanchao. Intinu. What we can say is say we wish him well, but the Nsembi Bebre Etuja, I agree with him.
Okay.
Number one is the privatization of ECG. It's very, very clear. Say ECG is highly indebted. Our share or more revenue shortfall is about 40%. What you here? It's about 40%. Intino Sisiano say aban edisika bekwako to ECG mu. Na etimi as supplementary or more deficit no there enye ye because today we are overburdened coming from an economy that is recovering from an Akufo-Addo Bawumia regime no. It's an economy that needs some, I would say, key interventions to revive it. It is our word na Mahama UCN no. In theory it makes sense, but of course as obe to me achieve sa reset no there time will tell. Uti the maker no speaker. Into no energy sector no ECG no omo to me privatize here. ECG can raise capital from the private enterprises, right? Easily. And then the management and then the what do you call it? The marketing of ECG need the kika hono. It should be privately owned. Me and Kamenya every region be a bewo ni company.
I been managing
the electricity
in that region.
Marketing and distribution.
I see.
Second to that, the diversification of our energy source. And I liked his response. Say, share Ghana CC energy source over 57% of your energy source no your thermal plants.
Yes.
It is not sustainable and it's not reliable because you cry crude. What you say? Crude no so you cry no $1 mu. Your seed no is highly depreciated. What you make no? Into no that input no into the thermal plant no is very, very expensive. So we need to look for a cheaper solution. And the fact say nuclear energy ebe PMO who say no, this man is up to something. What you make no? GTP more we introduce the idea say Ghana should diversify its energy source in line with the sustainable development goals. And then ahodo bebre no omo banks akese the World Bank, IMF ni na no omo climate financing.
Yes.
What you say? Yeah, funds. Yes, omo finance projects are etimi reduce carbon emission. Intino say ye timi policy yeah Ghana we can go nuclear, and nuclear can substitute that 57% of your thermal power plants are omoma electricity no. Okay. And it will be efficient and it will be very, very reliable. Osha costa sika ye kra over $1 billion ye kra ye pumping into your thermal plants now. Enko ye minua Osha and the legacy data over $3 billion. Now sometimes me do want in 2015 ESLA was introduced.
Yes.
To support the energy sector. Debt. Yes, in terms of debt recovery, need the account and recovery from debt. No. As a make as a 2023, no, ESLA was able to raise cumulatively $36.49 billion Ghana cedis. Inti se where to me raising iskawe nini na how say your data accrued to 3 billion Ghana cedis. That is a question that we have to ask Nana's People's Party, not the MPP. Minya, not the MPP, Nana's People's Party, because the MPP are nimuno. And I know my advice to the MPP communicators: if you are going about defending the MPP, you should refer to the track record of President Kufuor. You can never ever refer to the track record of Nana Akufo-Addo because it's not pleasant. You cannot defend the track record of Mahmoud Bawumia ni Nana Akufo-Addo. Oshe macroeconomic indicators krana and koye intiminua the American say with the energy sector no and who here say you bet diversify.
Okay, now we see for mama.
Inclusion of solar very very critical. There eka hone say yet me TBB about the nominee for finance. Me person make way to edra na or make certain recommendations for your fiscal policies no. Adia ye me there pa ne say there's no synergy between the central bank and then the Ministry of Finance when it comes to managing our economy.
Yes.
Your central bank no manage the monetary policy. The government the government no manages the fiscal policy no. There's no synergy. Into who they be na omo policies no and related.
Okay.
What did they make no? Into say ye betimidi omo aboma in terms of the spirit of working well to enhance economic development and prudent economic management ebetima boy sikasem ushe financing to SME now as at last year, okay, your financing to SME no credit to SME was about 12.3%. Domestic credit to SME was about 12.3%, which is lower than the sub-Saharan Africa average of 35.8%.
Okay.
Ushe SME susana, 90% of the jobs are created by the SME.
That's from Mame now.
Entino, Asema is say when he is going to remove the taxes now, he is going to create a problem in the sense that me just say betting tax they say omui e-levy no ni COVID-19 levy no it has to be strategic because now no government is out of the international capital market. Borrow.
Yeah.
Into where do you turn to? Domestic. Your domestic capital market. If you are going to compete with private enterprises for borrowing now, it's a problem.
Okay.
Because banks owe loan to government because it's safer. Secured. Into that means the government private sector omuko competing for financing. And we believe, sir, the private sector should be the engine of growth.
Okay.
That is why we've advocated for an enterprise economy.
Okay.
Into no fiscal policies no omunshum huye. Na sebeya yentimi emfa policy but so that we can even cap the amount of money at banks ebetimia ama government in terms of borrowing so that the private sector no benye sika edi akoye juma. Oti de America.
But as a doc, I'll get back to you. I know you're Dr. Ramsey Enosa, member, senior communication team member for Movement for Change. I remember BOT, so Bernardo Drew Techi, the economist, a member of the NDC. This is another party where I'm and fans in India. Be my member also, I mean, too.
Just because but then he been an hour about an not or MPP office head office echi. Juana naughty. Asalam down here, they be a bedroom or na, baby on packet can Juana naughty. Nti de bia nkurapon school no mu twema no man fans board then you na ma mebi nso twem no say enkola board then ya mo man fancy mo ehwe no man second so a obekum o sa board then no fans ankura ne de man no enne ma ne honhom sorry nti oten ya no se ma me fans na your fans
Tulipanye.
Because we can announce something say. Say na yaba ban mu. Yaba na wo che time allotment na.
Yeah.
E wo say we did 2 minutes kan party in power ho. Opposition area. opposition crowd the obo aban obi anye wo so
na say opposition ya na ye na
Debbie, media now bomb empire to that ultimate shame because now to say the advocacy for more time for the NDC government. Quick one, my more the legacy president Abaso. Or a legacy president because in less than 1 week in power, and Niama Wayeno, a bro be 8 years.
Oh, yeah.
I repeat. The bold decision I was taking, and for the record, and now no all diplomatic and service passports have been recorded. Nti abamu penimbi a watchman now MPP ni ambassador one ya now cry either diplomatic or service passport no. Ya more yes up to 20. Oh please, masa uni abamu mami nkasa nwi. Who abamu?
Ye na kuta passport.
Who abamu to opposition?
Ye kuta passport no so ye ji.
Ye di 2 me cans ma oze nyi.
Tie o throw directive abamu.
Tie me. Ni wa abamu. Mahama bawa amete. Edu so ame o be wa menka. O yes I made distort o ba me how. Ye din na tena opposition.
Opposition today ya.
You din na tena ho. Ye din be quiet and be there. For mo fam arrogance no mo ne ma tena ho. Ye din 12 minutes na card 9 minutes. Now, obi okra diplomatic and service passport on. It's been recalled and Mahama mom up to 24th of this month.
Okay.
And a date yes
and a 15.
15 card 9 days more. Undenti asa directive ne bebo an.
At the end, yeah.
Ora koso. Nti amamfo betumi afa kwati kwanso akofa Togo. Ba bia use diplomatic passport. E de voom away. Nti se wo ye MPP appointee a wa serve atwamu a wo up to 24th of January say diplomatic passport be an separate crowd no return it. Me nua dog Ramsey can say me and I'm giving a handshake. Thank you. NDC yene movement for change ni twaka bia. Na oniama hwegu e ma hu hyehye. But Abayifa Kabu oti hoi. Ni dimba kuna Abayifa Kabu.
Odi obi di na emo obi.
Abayifa Kabu ya na dress sana Abayifa Kabu. Abayifa Kabu oti min certain things way. And kamu lusu wiye ya no, you look for numbers. Anya hwegu sitano kote National Reform Party. NDC upon deeper reflection no, brought everybody back. Today, Oko presidency, Gusitano is heading the 24-hour economy and as the Parliament Councillor and the 24-hour economy in album. The concept of numbers in politics. What you saw about 38.2% percentage point. So we draw a graph no krana na abra Dr. Baumia bonu muacha mahama no they were boni mono 38.2 degrees no. Dinka lose you such a bad magnitude no. Usha movement for change you Jojo. You talk in a tone to bring them back. In opposition, the whole MPP architecture in power was so arrogant. What cash your money here? What lose when you so opposition tnanya then no buy and so I'll buy the two future movement for change for so. I leave it between you and him. Back to the contention. Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
And then what we say me boni pebi mabaso. Hwe nyankopon kra wo paase da. Party ya me bam. Platform ya me tusi. Me salute me nua kwabena.
Kessben.
Abra na yenya ba bi kra nkasa mfam promote NDC no. You people accepted me. Enti ndem abaha ya me de mo aseda na Abraham.
Yeah, that's yeah, Joseph.
Baby, I'm a production team will be on. God should bless you guys. In fact, me the first day I man me akwanya ba show we so. People in my own party can say stage where MPP for the mama so no member. Today people are running to bed to come here. Until production team, your consistency has paid off. Said ya mo ye no abra na ye wo posimonya ne sa amamo nsesa.
Okay.
Until me nua kwabena be very consistent. Bitter pills heals. Yeah, the enya mon country. Yeah, no more o kasa ye be kun ni bia no. Yeah, no more kasa me swali pay near you for there be. And this the o kasa ye tie. Akobi was stop the talk and listen to the talk. Nti do maybe o jai kasa no watie nyansa kasa. Nti Kessben mi damase. And the station we am ade amenya is akatua na menye. Am ka station ho. Enti kwamna Shall say for me to payroll. So there's a gentleman called Innocent Kwame Masiku.
Okay.
Project now me adult to 16 orphan constituency was my project manager. And the guy did a yeoman job. Meneno Yenam Tatale Zazugu Techiman South Akontomra Asunafo Non Fantiman for almost 6 months running. On the election director for Sunyan East.
Okay.
Baby Innocent Obiano. Personally, Mr. Lutuno. And my spiritual father, I won't put his name out. Bako Enyinem na Bako Kumasi. Bimukradun say I know about me a prophet, but I don't think so. Baby Obiano or no so Mishrano. There's a young man in the Secretary also. Papa Amia Samiamiao. There's a young man. I met him through Petty with 2 platforms on it. And the American same way to appreciate what people did for the power to come. Now back to appointment. Personally, appointment about so far, Mema Mahama 99.9%. And the reasons are this. Or reward loyalty and commitment to NDC and Madagana. Dr. Kislato Forsen. NDC hunting cannot go for that person jail no broad daylight. To the extent to say only an accused person no not try out there a student of law. How does an attorney general reduce himself to the point say an accused person on a connive just to jail an MP then? Dr. Kislato Forsen and Mamin can record with to say so far Mampanida da Nanado the 2 finance ministers no pedigree boma. They are nowhere near close Dr. Kislato Forsen. And these are the reasons. 1.
Time will tell, Anna.
No. I'm not saying performance. Look, I'm telling you pedigree. And allow me to expatiate them. 1. Ken Ofrata was an investment banker. That is a point of fact. You can't dispute it.
That's the background.
So, anything I'm saying, compare the pedigree of Anta Ken Ofrata, any case like to force now. In terms of professional background, academic background, and even experience in politics, they don't come close to him. Dr. Case Latofo is a fiscal economist. And meanwhile, can say for some years, no, we don't marry the monetary policy regime and the fiscal policy regime.
Yeah.
Is that not so? Yeah. Good. Now you have a finance minister Bia or a fiscal economist. And because a fiscal economist, you are looking at the consolidation of how do you raise revenue, how do you spend it, or practical understanding. Number 2, or a chartered accountant. And in accountancy, you are looking at balancing the sheet. When the money comes, where does the asset go, where does the liability go? How do you find the balance? Are you looking at deficit, surplus, or balanced position? He is also a tax practitioner. He is a tax practitioner. And a qualified one for that matter. Number 4, he's been in parliament for 16 years counting. Intimate now will show ways what I can say. I can debate anybody. You can't compare Ken Oforiatta and Anta in terms of he's a PhD holder. PhD holder in public finance. So funny pedigree, academic qualification, experience in public officer. Ken Oforiatta doesn't come close to Kislato Forsen. But meanwhile, Dr. Ramsey can say experience and idea may not be close to execution. Enti also saw when Dr. Mahmoud Baumian Rattle Dina Brofaka say Central University then Biniko Minina Abra Ghana for the to me man and reflected in the groundwork. In summary, Dr. Kislato Forsen appointment or say na niswadi hu nyina for finance ministry no niema miensa. Stabilizing the city. And once you stabilize the city, no emobia hotono. The rich benefit, the poor benefit, the middle income people benefit. 2, keeping price of items low. So he is controlling inflation. And inflation beyond in a pure economist, no, it's a taxation on the poor. So inflation gallop through too much. Yasun die kesi tia here for. Dr. Kislato Forsen say obema price from the try to then say job creation. Because say you create jobs, not unemployment but for man. And my people purchasing power parity from the try to crown. Shy Osudoku. MP na minimum picture na so wa all me runs and me call you na me ma producer me man picture bi. I got a call one day to go and help the woman. Abra me free Accra ko shy Osudoku very fast to chare near a campaign. At the end of the campaign, Mr. Speaker, I told myself that the woman after the election will be a minister. As my making world Ahonto FM, Alaska the Dawn.
Yeah.
Alaska the Dawn invited me and I went there. Now, Madam Linda Okulu, the Greater Accra Minister designate, no. I didn't who one say. When you say, oh yeah, common MP no the minister dano. That is a woman. So, say, or other pictures nanka or the or slider mommy.
Oh, the better so, but wrapping up, mommy.
Now, in wrapping up, no, Greater Accra, the Ame Yemi Desaya appointed Madam Wei as a regional minister and said, me could do Chai Osudoku or no had in pocket money, Emma loan, 10,000, 8,000, 7,000, and me calculate MP's common fund. Sika e bomu in the financial year. And it's Bosse and Mami Wei, 8 million in pocket money, Bonwa. I told myself, say a reward with a sector minister and any minister one that she will do more. All the appointment are in a baby a Greater Accra regional minister designate. Women empowerment. And it's a region like Greater Accra seat of government. Near the Asha Ban Sadia. Echre will say the NDC stand for women empowerment.
But as a BOT, thank you. Mamemba Awa Mohammed in so Embre. Awa, Mamemba Bremona Minti.
You made us say, Minuano Ekan Bibi say, your opposition say, what do you expect from us? And say, Anka, Yeshia, a movement for change for now.
You should welcome them.
You welcome one in a keka. In politics, it is positive numbers, not negative numbers. In politics, and your negative numbers, your per numbers, but your negative numbers. In 2008, the NDC went into elections, partner with Freeman. They went into elections when their national chairman, general secretary, and a vice chairman, women organizer, Ekoti party. The NDC did not bring them to the party. But the NDC went ahead to win the elections because positive numbers na idea juma. Again, in 2016 MPP, we lost Yapamu national chairman, Yapamu general secretary, first vice chairman. You win election with 1 million votes. Not someone who was only a cabinet minister for 8 years. And as a serial contender.
And you don't need them.
We need positive numbers. Or pesa oba. Or no say on pesa party nibe winning elections. Into a cotton home. Wako primaries are lose mateme ho. Na obi aka hansa on samra debi. Or pesa oba omra. Party welcomes people. But we welcome positive numbers, not negative numbers, because MPP and NDC has gone through that before. They had people who were at that caliber, national chairman, women organizer, any Omukoti party, ever contested elections had 0.3% of the vote. Just like when he went and said he obeyed voting, he had less than 50,000 votes across the country. So, anyway, very important. Again, Seminu Ekachra me say, to force in pedigree or economist na keka ho a chain. I mean, Anta, I am shocked. Only I mean, Anta, you don't know him. Because let's look at their academic credentials. To force in first degree accounting. Second one, a master's in economics and taxation. Third one, business management, LK University. I mean, Anta, first degree economics, master's in economics, PhD in petroleum economics. In terms of political pedigree, I mean, Anta was a NUX president in the school. Obayeno, Obeye Tamale mayor, Obeye deputy minister. Assign Betse, ESEP, one of the foremost energy think tank in Africa, with credibility. I mean, Anta. Obayeno, as finance minister for the last 1 year, look at the economic fundamentals. To the extent that IMF is telling us, say, by 2026, we will move to single-digit inflation. And to force in the experience. I have always maintained this, that Atuforcing cannot afford to fail, especially at the finance ministry. Because Obi was normal within the finance ministry. Minyesho say Obi or Drew a Atuforcing. And that's a fact. Atuforcing started off as a deputy finance minister. In 8 years, for 4 years, in 8 years, he buyer as government. Was a ranking member for 8 years. A drew baby I said Dunkite Pamo Haruna Krefri Hono can say or the neighbor because of economics. Because he call elections now, it's about the economy into the neighbor. And Sane Ene Wabe finance minister. So he has learnt on the job. So he cannot afford to fail. We don't wish him doom. We wish say obeye Juma send a beya economy no bit imagine brani. Na Ghana yina yanya hoto. In the next 4 years, yakwadwam na se normal bo ekosoro they are affected. The only thing is say BOT mo oppositions akese enti omo de ombit mato. But we shouldn't even afford to let them fail because anunti na ma ye bebo mutuja fucking. Oh, nukra panu ye bebo mutuja papa. Se ne be ombit ma ni ye. Na ye ni abai mo no. At least any Ghana for Duduana no ebetimi autonomous affordable. Very important. Inti yemfa eno enso on air energy. The same thing. Energy so on also sir for 8 years why a spokesperson on energy. Why deputy minister for energy and power. At a point in time, no, acting minister for power. You remember, say Tamana, even though not only the attorney, but he was there working alone for like 3-4 months. Now, finance minister and oversight. Tamana, omokas ombes of doom so omontimianya, come na don't resign. There was no substantive minister over there. So what now? Inti Jinapo, and again, Matisse says you are a PhD cracker home, and which say he's a sharp gentleman, obetima boy juma. Then so. Just within 8 days into government, Opesamoton ECG. Hey, Hasembeni. 8 days in government, Opesamoton ECG. Okay, so the same former President Mahama.
It's just an expression of intent.
Me say the same President Mahama and started say Yenton ECG in 2013. Obey a president. The first thing I want to say Yenton ECG into a million development authority. Ekwapam. Emamuka so mbema iskakra. Emampa almost started the process. Ewie bibia in 2016. Say omo de concession ebama company for 25 years. Ye buy no anke wo say sign and I can say there be yen sign ya abolish so enye because we be could na could actually. It yemma Ghana for yemma first 90% to private company. You can say there be yen 49% for private, 51% for Ghanaian own. I don't know covered PDS by. We didn't change anything. The only thing we changed is say ownership no yemma Ghana for and own kese. It's a strategic national asset. Because company na made any former President Mahama a shortlisted in you remember say BSC, Miralco, and some few other companies were shortlisted by during the Mahama time. Edru babia obie pull out no edru companies me no BXC and Miracle. BXC made a for no disqualify mu because of Chinese company. They even went to court. And I demand Miracle from Philippines. And I can say any and a PDS a buy. A year in your code baby no ye who said PDS for no HED. It was the ECG that did that. And a chemo. Ye chemo we lost money. Mida, I promise Mahama say on my $500 million to invest in our your friends say energy no. You can't say ye chum no mida can say me and chem. Says can yanya. We didn't get that money because that money be that can my says can. I didn't think the ye chum reverse na ECG. And ECG is doing well.
ECG is doing
yes, well. Share your friends say the KPMG report. About ECG on losses the minimum kind 40% in is erroneous. The only time a cost through with
KPMG report better.
KPMG had a report on a viability of ECG and the losses. There is a report like that.
When? Where?
Oh, maybe we are
will make it available to
you. Say yes, I'll make it available. Say that KPMG report is saying that ECG it's made 37% losses in 2023, and the reason had to do with the fact that now more obsolete meters are a drew by 10 years na juma. But they had 27%, they had 28% in the account. So what we need now, yan toy ECG no, it's not for sale. Yan efficient. That's all. So private person bit me aya Ghana phones bit me aya man ye. Say ye ton shares na ya it is a well crana. Better than you call your friends a stock exchange for cratwa. Better than say better.
We are looking at a lot of inefficiencies at ECG, right? The technical losses,
yes,
the inability to generate the revenue as we generate.
Now it is better. Omoko cashless, but at least move from 8 billion to around 14 billion. At least.
Yeah, with the point of order. I think he's speaking to KPMG report. This is a big platform.
I'm looking for the report.
So can you share the report? Then he reads for the benefit of the viewers.
No,
but you've raised a point of reference.
But why is the program ending?
No, share.
Is the program
we
ending?
Want to see. Those times of needless propaganda is past. So time is NDC in power.
When in the producers say checking whether there is a KPMG report.
I have only seen a 2021 annual report.
Exactly. So
is it annual report or KPMG report?
KPMG report. I'm saying that
report.
There is a KPMG report.
And you're GHS for you are with a doctor.
We'll search for a BOT.
No, see, don't let it. No, this shouldn't be a pedestrian comment.
If you are saying, 2021,
this is a 2021.
He said annual report.
Report of ECG.
I am saying that there is,
we won't allow you to lie on this platform.
ECG had a colossal loss of 10.2 billion Ghana cedis.
That's 2022.
What is the percentage?
Can you give her the KPMG
What's the percentage?
Mr. Speaker?
No.
Where is the KPMG report?
It's almost 40% loss.
So, but you sat here and
said point of order. No, we will not let you rap. Mr. Speaker, the times of needless propaganda. No. Can you show us the KPMG report?
But why can I show it to you whilst I'm showing it?
Give it to the host. Give it to the host.
BOT. Madam Fambra, okay.
Mr. Speaker, I'm begging you.
I'm looking for.
I'm begging you.
I'm going.
I have no. Who alleges must prove.
Exactly.
It's the basic of law.
I'm saying, sir.
I'm saying that let him prove the KPM report that shows, sir, and the MPP are going government. No.
Me say this needless interjection.
We won't allow you to lie. You won't lie again. You won't lie again. This time we won't allow you to lie.
BOT, thank you.
So the American say,
do you have the report with you? Because yes. I am looking for
it. I'll just give you the lead to the report. Okay. I don't have it here. No, I don't have it here like that. But I'm telling you,
you're here to give lead to a report.
But then what do we do?
Then withdraw.
So all
we will not allow you to lie. This time you can't lie.
BOT, thank you.
MPP, this time you can't lie. MPP, this time we will not allow MPP to lie.
In government, we are needless interjections here.
No, but we will not allow you to throw that into people's eyes.
In government, this time we are needless interjections.
This time around, forget it.
Was it an audit report done by KPMG?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. You let me search for it.
Yes.
So give him the lead. Give him the lead to search for it. Give him the lead.
So the American say,
yes,
ministers, 10 out of 16. That is the regional ministers.
Yes.
There is a blend of the old and the new. And I say old and young. As I say, Mamimbo Muniano Abaso Frank Amakuhini, doctor.
He's done so well.
A medical doctor, rise through the ranks as Nooks. From Nooks or by regional secretary, at least regional secretary NDC was able to maintain what they got in 2020. Omanya upwards adjustment in their votes there, but they were able to maintain the numbers. And so why are there? You expect to say Obabana Otimi Abesumi? Why secretary for about 2-3 years in the region there, and which they say ampa why are there na ade bakwa e was saying na yes I channel so ne say President Mahama Mbona Basso say on so why are there say a man makuma miensa about 30%. Unim say President Akufo-Addo e passe the affirmative action bill into a law.
Yeah.
Embrano HRS by 2026 we appointment ya for be a juma by 2026 I was say nipano ema 30%. By 2028 I was say it could do 35%. By 2030 I was say that gender parity. Into fani pa juma say ema omuye 10 ema was omuye 5 by 2020. But we know why are they? We expect to see more.
Okay.
Senebeya ebetimi aboy.
All right, that's 7 after 9. My main kind few of the messages in the memra doc ne BOT. So Eric Kubu, the patriotic voice. Also, now President Mahama and his NDC members are running away from signing the anti-LGBTQ bill. Soon Ghanaians will remember Nanado and the NPP government. Lord have mercy on Ghana. Thank you for a message. We said, good morning, Mr. Speaker. I've been enjoying your show since. I really like BOT so much. Please, can I get his contact? Kojo Efa Edway Free Kumase Anadebaye. Kojo, thank you. We say, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Let the NDC know that 4 years is not far. And if they fail to sign the gay law, we will come at them. Okay. I'm Osei from a year Jirapa. I'll say thank you for a message, we say good morning, Mr. Speaker. Why did you not bring the man instead of Ken? Okay, thank you. If you are talking about Dr. Anta, right? From the onset. I don't know, Bisa. We say good morning, Speaker. Please, can you tell Awa to stop ranting? They were in government for 8 years. What did they do? Thank you. One for within and count. This one says that good morning, Mr. Speaker. Please ask the NPP man when would they pay the YEA members. We need money, please. Thank you for a message. Jones Edway Freeman so Tonto Crumbia, but Mr. Speaker, let Ghanaians wait a little time for John Mahama and the trolling NPP was forever. That will see the changes he brings on board. Thank you. This one says that NDC communicator there is arrogant. He should know that no condition is always permanent. He should also know what goes around comes around. Well, that is what you mean. Or say menu edwe free agogo ana edebai. Or say thank you for a message. We say, Mr. Speaker, let the NDC know that everything has a beginning and an end. The election percentage margin doesn't change anything. Let them fulfill their promises. And I keep saying this Mahama administration will bring an end to the party because they can't do anything as they have promised. God save Mahama and the NDC. Benjamin Abrifa Frimpong, the way for your Boase Anna Ede Abba. Ben, thank you for a message. This one says that, Mr. Speaker, I like listening to BOT a lot, especially when he talks about the economy. This really affirms his knowledge in his profession. Please always bring him on your show, and can I get his number? Amankra Edway Free Central Region Amankra, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Kindly tell Dr. Ramsey that if he wants NDC party to give him an appointment, he should go for it and stop what he's saying, that political talks are cheap. Indeed, if they had anything to offer Ghanaians, Alan Chematin would have won the election. Nana Yao Edwe Friatebubu Anna Ede Ebaya. Nana, thank you for a message. Good morning, Speaker. Please tell Awa to recognize our president very well, because we will not tolerate their arrogance and disrespect for President Mahama anymore. Thank you for a message. I don't think Awa disrespected President Mahama. We say good morning, Mr. Speaker. Muhammad Anan Mankesim Estate Nadu free at the airbar. I say, please, President Mahama, don't try to run away from the anti-LGBTQ law. Please sign it and shame your enemies. That's all. You bring that in. Thank you for a message. Good morning, Speaker, and your team. I'm format inside. Inside where? Okay. The doctor, you are making a lot of sense this morning. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you too. We say good morning, Speaker. I'm Kwame Takrade. Please tell BOT, I love him so much. He should keep up fighting for the NDC and the party. God bless him. Thank you for a message. Good morning, Speaker. Please, we applaud the president-elect. He's no longer president-elect, president, for solving the Boko issue. But what Ghanaians are waiting for is our new It's the fight on Galamsey, okay, and the destruction of the forest and our water bodies. We are waiting for what the NDC would do on that. Commander, sensing that one from Obuase. Commander, thank you for a message. Good morning, Speaker. Please, some of us are wanting for free tertiary admission that President Mahama promised during his campaign. I'm Paul from Takrade. Paul, thank you. BOT will answer that for you shortly. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. I'm Sabato from Winchi in the Bono region. God bless BOT for the good works he has done for the great NDC party. He deserves an appointment. Greetings to Alhaji Siedu Haruna, Winchi MP. Thank you for a message. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Please, I just want to know if you have any idea of who is becoming the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources and also Western Regional Minister. Please, I just want to know, and I'm Evans from Elembele. Elembele for Yachiamunina Anope. Western Region, it is likely that Eric Kafo will become your regional minister. That is the Member of Parliament for Menfi West. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. William, watching us live from Nzema. Mr. Speaker, you are doing a great job for Mother Ghana. Thank you for your time. My message is no endorse. So 13 after 9. My memory doc any BOT. So now I wrap it up.
Speaker.
Yes, Doc. I know so what rebattles will bring, right?
Well, I have some and then some. I mean,
I want bunch of Maminti and Dr. Ramsey.
Yo.
Doc Maminti.
Oh, sir. In Myanmar or more MPP, no. I keep on saying that they don't learn. Him fa on tremi, I will in tremi. And then he should prove to me where in the history of MPP's election currently elections are calling Frank Atunu. Him fa na Alan Tramanti lose the election on tremi. Did Alan Tramanti lose an election in the MPP?
He should never won elections in his entire life.
Did he lose an election?
Win elections, rather.
He didn't lose an election
in his entire life. He has never won an election.
Maybe your MPP, but until the constitution, I sent him. I mean, church and ye. Yeah, contest. Yeah, uko ye flag bearer. You have more than 5 people competing for the position. The constitution says that you select the top 5. Now, wako ultimate primaries, ako yi the ultimate one. Alan Tramanti, didn't he qualify for the top 5? Didn't he qualify for the top 5? Speaker?
Yes, he qualified.
Did he lose that top 5 position?
No.
He saw,
and he left.
He saw eminent.
No. You can't. You see. You can't come and make some.
It's a monumental failure in terms of elections.
You made a fraud.
When Mahama even presented him, he's the first Ghanaian to be presented to an international front and lose elections. Alan is just a failure in terms of elections.
Alan is a failure
in terms of elections. Yes, he's a failure. He has never won an election.
Let me tell you today, in the history of
school prefect, even a school prefect, he has never won before. He's the only Ghanaian. Omaino, Ebono, Haka, Edino, international stage.
Speaker.
Yes.
I'm a radical person. If this is how my brother wants to go with the banter, I
may not come back to that issue. That is the reason I am.
I can match you. When you were speaking, I was quiet.
Yes.
And I'm a one.
Yes.
Okasano me come na mitino. Into me kasa, you don't interject me. There is nowhere. There is nowhere. Alan Tramanti Alusi election. So get that fact straight. Then you say it's a failure. The greatest failure. 2 years my way. A year the introduction of Mahmoud Bawumia in our political landscape. And even the MPP introduced Mahmoud Bawumia. The greatest mistake was to vote for Akufo-Addo. The greatest insult. Krom Hanum say MPP for presenting Mahmoud Bawumia. Okay, when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. Now, my member to the good for your policy. Mahmoud Bawumia.
He's a former vice president.
I mean, no. I mean, choice of well, the former vice president Mahmoud Bawumia. Yes. You went round, propounding theories for the gold for oil to say, historically. Okay, if you look at the annals of history, Israel was one of the countries that used that policy in 1973 under the Ramadan War, because there was an embargo on Israel by the oil Arab oil producing countries no. Uti asiye.
Mitio.
Into Israel no, in order to subvert that embargo no, they introduced a gold for oil policy. And it did not help them. They used that as an emergency mechanism in times of war. Now, as an economist, okay, one of the greatest assets we have is our gold. And then we rely primarily on primary commodities for export, like gold, cocoa, and man. As Mamu Baumia Obayo economists, no, you should have pushed an agenda to add more value to our gold, no. And not to trade a volatile commodity with another volatile commodity. It does not make sense from an economic perspective. And that is why ASEP, Eddie report by say, the gold for oil policy was not significant in reducing the prices of fuel. It was actually the price of crude oil, world market price of crude oil, echo from. And sometimes to me who said the prices at the pump and echo from. It was not the intervention of the gold for oil policy. Now back to even the gold for oil policy. It was an avenue, say, Omubel Londa Sika, any gold out of this country. If you look at your mining landscape now, 45% of the gold source, Ghana's gold source, comes from the small scale mines. Right? Now, small scale mining, about 85% of small scale miners are illegal. And most of these champions are MPP4 Bebre, including the famous Chemawun to me. And Yamina Mekao, Frimpong Boating report or ye buy Akunta mining was in it. Say, Akunta mining was engaging in illegal mining in our forest reserves. And now, Meno Kasano, 60% of your water bodies have been polluted. Right? Cocoa lands, cocoa farms, Bebrea, cocoa areas. Most of the lands have been degraded due to the anthropogenic activities of illegal miners.
I got 10 minutes.
And now I know Kasano, young Crawford, Takwa, about 75% of water supply, Takwa are shut down because the Bonsa headworks has closed down. This is as a result of what? More failed policies in the gold for oil policy, because the gold for oil policy was relying mostly on illegal miners for their supply. And now AG report by Bank of Ghana, any PMMC, you are going into an agreement for this policy. MOU na mudi execute commercial contract. For God's sake, MOU na the executive commercial contract. And as I go for a policy, they did not create an offshore account for the proceeds of that way no gold. I didn't know because of dubious means. And a middleman on Modishim. Intim dear mepa yera OSP na say he should investigate the gold for oil policy. Or be able to send the dear Pioma where the Ghana for Sika and that's why you see illegal means to launder money out of this country and say yenyan.
Okay. But that's 20 after 9. This is Kessben 92.9. Kessben TV live on DSTV on channel 364. Go TV at channel 121. Adope or share live on Aseda TV. So enti yadamunyina see all the 3 platforms. So no more joining in yadamu se papa. Beauty, mami mrao so na minti on your brother.
Just because they kind of quick. Appointment at ACC no. 3 ingredients in here me. And when it comes to critical appointment, road development, I'll go by the Singaporean approach. Liu Kuan Yew, MIT said, the man Singapore, and say in his political appointment, he look at the tripod: pragmatism, meritocracy, honesty. Pragmatism. Go in for nipa. Ombet my man said your fata.
Okay.
2, honesty. Nya leaders ombet ma hwe wani ma kan okra che o se mampanie kwan we se fa so ebebo man no nya leaders a omumfa man si kan kodwaru wiem nya leaders a omuntu amna donko asa amna na ye tuo no any economic value now nya leaders a Pualugu dam yemfa omo $12 million nko Pualugu dam na so be call dam site no na no mabakora nyina ho honesty the atwato ye meritocracy. Get appointees who merit competency. And nothing a daughter mwako hine for Ashanti region. Omiti all the 3 criteria. Minuaba Okulu for Greater Accra region. She meet the criteria. In his already daughter, His Excellency Mahama appointment or making one. He is going by the Liu Kuan Yew approach. Pragmatism, honesty, meritocracy. Second one, Obi bisa a question about free tertiary sobe and joy. Afia na mambo.
Exactly force na answer that question.
Good. Intimidate man wa ha. Afia na yaba aban. Don't forget, sir, you need to get it through parliament for a certain level of approval. Even budget is here to come out. Nyankopon ya adma bim in the next 120 days in the first budget or then this government will come out. Obi bia oye babuna o share sadia no so ne to aba de ma NDC ne kan wakoma to yem. NDC ye ne ye hyebo a ye di so. Hwe Mr. Speaker, ade a ye me de NDC mu na me ka me sna kan bia man in capital letters. The difference between MPP and NDC ne say NDC with me kan wadwen obi enku ye ntena wo fa ahodie so MPP who kan wadwen na ameswale pay ne ekun JB dan kwa ye nim niam asisi ya according to sources no e man no sha asamando 8 years ono ani busuani wantuma fa no prosecute ne evil doers. So in moving forward no obi can say me say we have been arrogant. No, Mr. Speaker, I can say we will show it. My background as an economist say always get your reference. Me to me metna Kessben kasa fidie kese we so na me nkase KPMG report wo ho na fa report no ba se member lead. Then don't say it.
Yes, but let me put it on record. Say, you would have to help us with the lead.
Good. Mr. Speaker, me time so me Mr. Speaker, me ba
the media send only here.
Me Mr. Speaker, me can say we show we so. Kessben kasa fidie bi a me gba so o manage big platform. MPP for ntie say emre bi atwam na mo betena TV ni radio so am kasa kuwa na mo kọ evidence bi anim. In the year 2025 MPP ni bi a mehia no wodi try look for evidence. In so MPP ni na oni me ba be share fa show timu say you can lie on other people but not when you meet me. Because an economist no when I give any grounds I should give incontrovertible source and reference. KPMG enye botomade. One of the biggest auditing firm in the world. And don't me metna han show frugu no obatakari and no chewe metna Kessben TV. And go to KPMG. Near catch yourself for KPMG report bra. What's a member lead? In Kabio show we subio. In 10 people phone tie, yanamo bekon pepe. It was those times. And na mo betna TV so akwaku ba ko star ni bi. No ma kisa document daima. Yeah, the economy no so mama, must say economy no. Enti NDC de ye be bra ho ase tie masem na atro ni propaganda de mo di si ye be because you see Mahama ba wa ba no ye Ghana for na NDC nkwa na de Mahama ba yo ye Ghana for enti Ghana for na o mafro makoma pam ama ye nkunindi ese fata no ye ba be bon nkunindi no ho ban na me hye Ghana for nyina abo amammo na enam kwan so ba no it will be governance of humility, modesty, moderation. In central form, who betomo on the economy, mon come yem. Because you have a finance minister, contract be or dear new cranker, now been born in Canada, so man ko jail. And you have a certain finance minister or Banwa. He will be careful on the public purse.
Okay.
And you do not say he will reduce unnecessary public expenditure. NDC is in for good. We are social democrats. And at the benefit here for no, we shall do it.
But as you be oti, mamen koye juma wo batampa homra meba wa so na mabamu nyina. Sa wa will have his time ansa na yakọ. Of atena se ache enti mamen mana che na me mana kwa aba.
Itro kakami ampo kwa mwasi anansio.
Aba we se mache na yeni nkomo emfri obatampa aso. Aba mache. Na empomo de say. But you must check about because mentee of anka na yenhwe ne microphone. But you check your microphone no e dey am surely na yetime ne worthy kobo. But 26 minutes after 9. O messages no few ones was say that's cynical laughter from Awa is nauseating. He must know. Awa, thank you for a message. You know, well, it's a good morning, Mr. Speaker. Please, how much is salary increase for government workers in 2025? They haven't said anything about it yet. Okay, we'll come back to have that discussion. But stay with me. Now, many of an more Emra. Of a Maakye.
Yeah, I'm here.
Now, I'm to say,
I'm here.
Eradiadom, yes, you're here. About some powerful here.
Obia here.
Very well.
Cheer for ne ahwefo ehwe na etie en anope
Omunyina agye wo so mamentio na yeni nkomo mfi obata
pashe me hade me ba na mbeka positive wasem eno ane adwuma meye menye adwuma bi aka positive hu te de yin anim no nti positive so yade a edukro memma nkwa na ye omo na memma edi be se 30 years ekosere yin anim no na positive ye omo na positive yade bi a se ekanwa de kan emo adwunso pi anajo emo adwunso pi anajo wo mu a me ka se positive yade no the symptoms no graduation start sabre no a wan hwe ne obadwunso bi a normal thing o ma bedu ba bi na fe na dwunso kan na wa ma ho ya ha na o ya dwunso agu ho anu anso so betuma edu ba bi dwunso kan na se okojan so dwunso a be fa mre ansa na wotumi adwunso ansa bi asa wo chim krapa ansa na wotumi adwunso wo mu a na Johnson na Johnson ko Johnson pressure Johnson echi no very slow ekwenemu do be betuna Johnson boja be ma o memo sam akofom I find erectile dysfunction betuna ma osisi aya oya didim bedu ba bi no Johnson betuna Johnson agu ho ahonim se Johnson dew anu bi na ye Sudan mampani some years back intino omu da ko be so badwunso no na adwunso na ka waya so wudwunso anyi emba na no na the friend prostate enlargement in symptoms na saya di se eto a wo start ya do no abeka hospital do e be ma wono ye tamsulosin hydrochloride say do no relax muscles na wo blood ani prostate no se de be ya wudwunso betu adwunso fine do no se ko na say do no mo na ye o mo so mo ato mo nyasa na tie wo ato de se wudwunso bia wudwunso pi se de na sate ye na ye no na mom project na ko fa sa ya de ne bae no da so ye den sekira kesia ne se eye nti eguso ekese no na je se complication na den ekonanim na sa project na ekese no ho aduro na memewo ya me madom se de weduro no de kan wo aduro no a e be shrink project na ekese no e ma na normalize amasa adwunso a wudwunso ne hu susu aso ya den ejai na nna ma me ye outstanding ewo project ayahwem because endo na system no munya no manage dwunso shrink prostate nti se dodo na aba makachi a o ma baba di ada se o ma no ndrondo anonum different bebre behwe no na eti o mutimi ka ba na ma o madura baba na behwe na edu ya na den eko nti enu na ma me ka se de bia obi so opposite do chamia oboa nti no se metia ka opposite wasama na se me champion opposite ayahwem de bia me ka se means of health beji maduru atuma ya show bia kateta o mamu hada because oya no ko ho a we de do no a be shinki prostate no ama na si ay normal na afi ni pa no ato no enu la baba bi ba me nchen no ba me nchen August oba ofitogo na ba ye nti ne nansa no frame se onu ne do na wie na oba ma hwe no na so ndo ombra and oba no faith oba me na hwe record faith oba no me testing the prostate in 288 centimeter cube yes scania that's the unit a centimeter cube now 288 oba me testing now about 206 reduced by 82 centimeter cube which is very remarkable and I'm catching say ohunu sanka or the hospital bia nko make so my surgery because boni be catch say omo ye ho hwenye because abofu ni waduro and a hospital sin near a single prostate and manage them kind tam solution at the chloride ni for side the mom manage into me share na sama na do so nkonkonom na 206 ni kwa a very big prostate onkonom onsan konom onum wi ombrane test no o continue e bedu baby no e normalize na fina a hawni ya den na afiri ho into sana enu ne edura me de bo amanfo sesi a me ohi ena ma me dam so nkum ye unique in the treatment of prostate so obitimi nka mo nyansafo anitifo nka kase o papa we mesiken tina we mesiken tina ope ena oti radio so an TV so okasa enya usika sem na meka no me sebra na baji ayahwe ma wankasa ho because bebie no obenya ayahwe chen me ho ti am ka chen go for so otimi nka when you 90% when what 100%, 10% is why wedding, but to 2 then aba oba on beto. My me inquire a mistake in the Danubio.
Okay.
Me no man
no numbers no any location.
Yes. Me no money 0553
0553
800
800
678
678
0553
0553
800
800
678
678.
When you come as in Fanamo way 0249
0249
49 61 66 0249 61 66 and now when you Western region and Fanamo way 0246 04 34 58 0246 04 34 58 Mofa ofra wo we kuma sin fresh anom sa anom no am ofra e be yam boy free ho na when ye wo ashaman my obi o hwe ho ama me kakra 0245 42 85 88 0245 42 85 88 me can say o frɛ ho o pese koto do ho hwɛ when you post nya post nkwa na mani page so tell make no nya no kwan so na ma symptoms a make ho asam e mani ba maybe to say low infection bit me am adu so pia na ju say the ye kan ye e friend saying diabetes bit me am adu so pi weak bladder bit me am adu so pi into o be kwa hwɛ say ya testo a confirm say o post and son why then I could tell remember say I remember say me compromise the integrity of the medicine be na one could when you post na how no akoto because akoto be we no so ma no do no and some year because some time ago ma me bi ni kun frɛ me say ni kun so pi na me do no come ano me do no ma no a be 1 week later ano ma me frɛ ebufu so na me kura no me do ni sa junso no junso Amsa, Uncle Sun Medro, Uncle Sun Medro saying, I don't mean I know you so. Anna was Uncle Sun Medruno. In the other Busan say, look, all diabetes are now, so diabetes. Them says all diabetes and then positive na managing so, a diabetes na managing so. A honor on the button yama, a secretary case there. And this who quarter do not say, ya test to a confirms or post-it. The post-it dear, a drobian no bit me a send ya the chamedruno. And this obia pe was a condition on permit kwan oba on beto me wo fifi prat last stop e wo nyanya no kwan so baby di fifi prat last oba no ha udu kaso a kase open nyanya no station uko station ho a bisa se open fifi down taxi we taxi na kache raba so buso abatampa we si junction so abena nte be 3 minutes no aba me nchen oba on beto positive dia ya se kan ayasa obi anchan me Nti sana meet me I can in there. Time no so.
I got 2 minutes.
I got 2 minutes.
Yes,
because we prepare academic my very good. No man 0244
0244.
I'm sorry. 0538
0538.
No, it's a mistake. 0553
0553
800
678 0553 800 678
and a Kumasi
0249 49
61 66 0249 49 61 and Western region 0246 04 34 58 0249 0246 04 34 58 and Ashaman in the environs 0245 42 85 88 the American say positive dear they say Lena Mekan baby say Africa
and my first appearance on this show.
Yes.
I don't speak out of vacuum. I speak with facts. The American and this is not the first time I mean to me share BOT. I will show you so.
Now this is our fact.
And America say I have never said anything here. I mean prove that.
Yeah.
Since I'm starting a program on this show, and I do not have that document here.
Okay.
Next week, nyameboa, before say me bahano, na ma send the document na ma read it and say na maye, because I tried getting someone to even send me the entire document when
That's fine.
But so Vetina, Dr. KB Mahama made reference to it and asked Junapo a question on the same thing. But me say next week nyameboa. Me decide document the full document because I think say it's not public and see it has not been published and anything ama yentimi enhono. The tosumi no gold for oil. Me nu say any impact bia obi ani ho a obi ani ho I can say any impact bia. Omo can say any significant. Sana wa kan that's the words you used. Say any significant change. But here they on
the oil price.
Yeah they essence say year started 2022 now oil prices 1 liter of diesel 6.9 cedis 6 cedis 90 pesos and I started 2022 with January before say you do December 2022 no now do 23 cedis per liter diesel now do 20 cedis per liter you launch good for oil in January by May. You launch gold for oil in January. By May, na dollar na starting ko Americano, na dollar na atiaba. Because you can say adiem you know na debe. You can say two things na debe. You debe na sikana BDCs no efa ekotoba no. You be reducing by half. You can say ebe ni na. That is one. Enti ebema the pressure on the dollar beba form. You can say ebema fuel prices so abafem. Fuel prices ever from to the extent that by May, now do 13 cedis per liter. By May, throughout 2023, the highest it went was 14 cedis per liter. Even today, it is still around 14 cedis, 15 cedis per liter. The same thing. So yeah, they gold for oil. That's one. Two is that yenya relative stability of the cedi between February 2022 and December, we had relative stability to the extent that today it is still around 15 cedis. But it went to 16 cedis in December 2022. And see that in the history of this country, say within 2 years, na ijina fako. Say kwa eko, mbana chibium. Diesel price kwa eko, mbana chibium. So gold for oil, and it's nama energy minister no. I can say they will review it and see the merits in it. Say, I was say, omo etwaso or betwaso. That was what Jinapo said. He didn't discount say a failure. As the panelists were ha, omo nyinano epese omo allude to the fact. No. You can start whichever strategy you want to start. Any problem bia. The here and say fuel prices in beba form. Dollar to cedi no ebetimi ababe 4 cedis and answer 5 cedis omo kachira. That is what is important to the Ghanaian. Say kwanya ubefa swaye no, say ubefa baomia approach no because Ghana for say baomia approach no mompe. So omutu tia no. Meboa. So o approach no fabra ni yenhwe. So anything I make sure say ekoya ebeka. Anko yeso ebeka and we'll make sure that we keep them to their own ways. NDC winning elections no. Before some winning elections, no, we share bebre or can say within a year 120 days, 4 months, no. No ma bi or pese oye, or beboa, or my 26 different items. Bakwa, omudi winnie wo as enough. Miaminia Abdul Samad and as a friend say MP for New Dubiasi Kojina as Empra Suzo a country or mosque say a coup for the person do trumu ba. Emma moving as enough with it. Assemblies of God Peninum Penimpano Ebijina in November at the statement by say if Akufo-Addo does not sign the bill omu betu tia ba omia to TI because one signed the bill. And then Mahama say bill no cry who here. Was it trumu bill no who here? Because they are kind they say
Yen focus on your family values. Yen chere ya mamre ya mani yen chere nkwala. Nti omu te ase dia ehu hia se be ye bill bia. Wose yen san koyechi na yen koye.
Did he really say that?
Sana okan. So una ojina fifi sana okan. Sana okan.
Richard video know how you
boy. Sana okan.
Just fine in the video.
Wose say yetimi ko ekoye yefre ekochere ya mane ne ya mamre chere Ghana fo a ehu hia se be ye mrabia. Sana okan say video na ready amon kan chere me. The to sumi ni say wose yenye broader consultation. Hey, minim bill I o Ghana ha nya broader consultation chamber way. Started 2021 to the extent that yema o group bia be presentation in parliament for 3 months. For 3 months, TV e capturing live. E call Supreme Court twice. Ansa na e buy. Ene Mahama e katre say turumi bill no. Afi na o chef for ase. Ono kra pese o sponsor.
Yes, you body now for president and his excellency.
Your friend say Yewura Mahama.
His excellency is also.
Omampeni Mahama.
The
first gentleman of the land. President Mahama. Omampeni Mahama. What's say ne? Turumu no ehunya. Me say, read my lips. Turumu bill no. Mahama 4 years from now. Ubu say sa turumu be yenye. Because Mahama is never committed to sa turumu bill no. What did you vote? The Ghana for she. And idea was say yes answer for. O MPs na ye yo. Maku 8. Ye de ba ko pe. Mo say no kra no, ye de ba ko na obetu mu no. Reverend Tim Fojo. Na your friend say ono kra de o de amemfe e na be ko join in. And idea Mahama say bill no on kire ye normal e wo mu a enye papa. That's very important. What kind? Okay. Obi akan mi makan we akan obi akan wa ha won trade de wo mu a emwo man no na on try no nko na san ko for parliament say they say supreme leader mebo or super majority or person pass law bia within some few weeks obetima pass law on first reading, second reading, third reading now pass no approve because only consider bia. Okay. And now what I say turumu ye no anka obechia me yam. So when you turumu no.
Me that's Yawa Mohammed. Now o president and I don't know be mo ayam.
Debi.
Your president said
Ghana for etutia because your president say on sign. Akufo-Addo ye one of the things I made me disappointed in Akufo-Addo is one sign the bill. Okay. That's one thing that I am disappointed in him.
Me that say our beauty wrapping up in 2 minutes.
Let's make a quick one.
Yes.
With the video no.
Richard is working on
producer Fantoha.
Yes.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama never said anywhere. Said that
my tape no Embra.
Now watch him
about his comment.
Now watch him
the issue of LGBTQ is still an issue that is pending, and it is our hope that this, as you said, the issue of LGBTQ is still an issue that is pending, and it is our hope that this president will sign the bill. But if he doesn't sign it, the bill will expire, and it means that the next parliament must look at it again. And of course, like I said, we're not people who promote that kind of attitude. The Bible is very clear on issues like that, and so we'll continue to remain faithful to our spiritual guidance and do the things that are necessary to do.
One more video,
Mr. Speaker.
Another video no about.
Baby, okay, say broader consultation, family values, daily graphic capture. There is a video.
Why are you allowing this guy to do this like a phenomenon in parliament?
Richard, who your propaganda? This is a video.
Now video they share Richard.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker. There is the same attitude that honorable phenomenon for parliament. Say attitude na wo ye.
Richard.
Oh when is
video
video they be to associate.
Exactly.
I don't know what he has is what he's
Debbie, what the video has massa. Because we've got daily graphic front page and a or can say young review.
Okay, I Rachel said you want to send it.
Mr. Speaker,
yes, but into your beauty. You wrap up.
Mr. Speaker, say attitude we know. I was setting the ground rule very well. because you team metna mo bi intend to afenyo mark in your parliament no we not tolerate that here.
Thank you.
Masa wunya o time now count the no obi so time but just keep quiet.
Only time because we no kasa here.
When
his
only time.
Thank you. All wrap here. Thank you.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say enema mienu de wom ye wo parliamentary standing order a de kire ne say Ghana ansa na betima je bill atma na be ye law no e was say timi tena parliament for 21 continuous working days. Se parliament bi wo na parliament ni gu na se